My husband said he didn't want kids anymore. I was crushed. Then I found out his new girlfriend was pregnant. He thought I didn't know. I sent them a baby shower gift, a tiny onesie that said, "Made with lies." He called me screaming. I just said, "Enjoy fatherhood." Mark and I met at a coffee shop downtown. He was charming, with a crooked smile and a penchant for bad puns. I was drawn in immediately. We dated for 2 years before tying the knot in a small ceremony at Cannon Beach. It was simple, just like us. We settled into a cozy bungalow in the Alberta Arts District. Life was good. We talked about kids often. Mark wanted a big family, 3, maybe 4. I was content with 2. We agreed to start trying after our 3rd anniversary. On our 3rd anniversary, I brought up the topic of starting a family. Mark hesitated. "I've been thinking," he began, avoiding my gaze. "Maybe we should hold off on kids. I'm not sure I'm ready." I was taken aback. This was the man who once joked about needing a minivan for our future soccer team. "Is everything okay?" I asked. He nodded, but his eyes told a different story. Over the next few months, Mark grew distant. Late nights at work became the norm. Our conversations were surface level, and intimacy was scarce. One evening, I found a receipt for a dinner for 2 at a fancy restaurant we never frequented. Suspicion gnawed at me, but I pushed it aside. A week later, while scrolling through Instagram, I stumbled upon a photo posted by a mutual acquaintance. It was a baby shower. The expectant mother was Mark's coworker, Jessica. She was glowing, her hands cradling a prominent baby bump. Mark stood beside her, his hand resting on her stomach. My heart dropped. I confronted Mark that night. "Is there something you want to tell me?" I asked, holding up my phone. He looked at the photo and sighed. "It's not what it looks like," he began. "She's pregnant, Mark. And you're in the picture." He confessed. They had been seeing each other for months. Jessica was 5 months along. "I'm sorry," he said. "I didn't know how to tell you." I felt a mix of rage, betrayal, and heartbreak. I filed for divorce the next day. The house, the memories, everything felt tainted. But I wasn't done. I found a baby onesie online. White with bold black letters. "Made with lies." I wrapped it carefully, adding a note, "Congratulations on your bundle of betrayal." I mailed it to their address. Mark called me, furious. "How dare you?" he shouted. I remained calm. "Enjoy fatherhood," I replied, hanging up. It's been a year. I'm rebuilding. Therapy helps. Friends and family have been supportive. I heard Jessica had a baby boy. They named him Caleb. I wish them well. Truly. But every time I see a baby onesie, I can't help but smile. A few weeks after the onesie stunt, I got a call from my friend Monica. We've been close since college, and she never sugarcoats anything. "You won't believe what I just heard," she said. "What now?" I asked, exhausted already. "Mark's not the father." I laughed. "What are you talking about?" "Jessica's ex is back in the picture. People at her office are saying she's been texting him all along. The baby might be his." I went silent. Was it true? Could that little baby not be Mark's? Mark must have heard the whispers too, because next thing I knew, I got another call. This time, it wasn't yelling. "Did you know?" he asked, sounding small. "Know what?" "That she cheated." "Jessica, I just got the results. The baby isn't mine." I didn't say anything. She lied to me. She tricked me. I almost felt sorry for him. Almost. "Well," I said. "Sounds familiar." And I hung up. The next few days were oddly quiet. No texts. No emails. No rumors. It felt like the storm had passed. Then I got a knock on my door. Mark. In the rain. Soaked through. "I have nowhere to go," he said. She kicked me out. I should have shut the door. But part of me wanted to see how deep this hole really went. So I let him in. For coffee. Nothing more. That night, Mark talked. Really talked. He admitted everything. The affair, the lies, even how long he'd been thinking of leaving before Jessica, before our anniversary. I felt like I wasn't enough, he said. That I was stuck. And screwing around fixed that? I snapped. He looked ashamed. No. I lost everything. I lost you. It would have meant something if it hadn't come so late. Just when I thought I'd seen it all, Jessica reached out. A message on Facebook. I know what I did. I'm sorry. But you should know something. Mark's been seeing someone else, again. Since before the baby was born. I stared at the screen. So, that's why he looked so crushed. Not guilt. Not heartbreak. Embarrassment. He'd been caught. Again. I hired someone. I know, it sounds crazy. But I needed proof. Not for revenge. For clarity. Closure. In 3 weeks, I had everything. Pictures, texts, emails. Mark had been juggling 2 other women, even while pretending to be a victim. One of them? A barista from the same cafe where we first met. Poetic, really. I invited Mark for one last dinner. Neutral ground. Just to talk. He came, hopeful. I laid out the folder of evidence on the table. He flipped through it slowly, face draining of color. You're sick, he whispered. No, I said. I'm done. Big difference. I walked out and left him with the bill and the fallout. I started seeing someone new. His name's Aaron. We met at a local book club. He's gentle, steady, kind. I haven't told him everything yet. Just that I've been through a storm. He smiled and said, sometimes storms clear the path. Just when I was settling into something close to peace, my phone buzzed. It was a voicemail from Jessica. Please call me. It's not about Mark. Curiosity got the best of me. When I called, she answered on the first ring. I think someone's been watching me, she said, voice shaking. I sat up straight. What do you mean? I thought it was just nerves, but someone broke into my apartment. Nothing was stolen. Just moved. Like they wanted me to know. I didn't care about Jessica. But something about her voice, it was real fear. Jessica filed a report with the police. I offered nothing more than a name when the officer asked if there were any enemies. Mark. The officer raised an eyebrow. You think your ex-husband's behind this? I wouldn't put it past him, I said. Jessica and I weren't friends. But we were connected now. Bound by the same liar, the same manipulator. Aaron, my new guy, was sweet, kind, thoughtful. He brought me flowers, made me dinner, listened like no one else ever had. Too perfect. Then one night, we were walking through Powell's books when someone called out, Hey, Aaron. Long time no see. How's your wife? Wife. I turned slowly. Aaron's smile faltered. She meant ex-wife, he said quickly. We're separated. My stomach dropped. We left the store in silence. Later that night, I pressed him. How long have you been separated? He rubbed his eyes. 6 months. And you didn't think to tell me? I didn't want to scare you off. I didn't want to ruin this. I felt the same nausea I had with Mark. Like the floor had shifted again. I asked to take a break. Aaron respected it. Or so I thought. A week later, Jessica called again. My neighbor saw someone outside my window again. I'm not crazy. We checked her camera system. The footage showed a man in a hoodie, standing still across the street. Watching. It wasn't Mark. It was Aaron. I went cold. I remembered little things, how Aaron always asked about my past. About Jessica. About the timeline with Mark. He'd said he just wanted to understand me better. He was too understanding. Too available. He wasn't just a guy from book club. He knew Mark. Worked with him. Years ago. They'd had a falling out. Over a woman. Jessica. It hit me like a punch. Aaron was playing the long game. Dating me wasn't fate. It was strategy. Get close. Earn trust. Tear it all apart from within. This was revenge, but not mine. His. I didn't tell Aaron what I knew. Instead, I played along. I invited him over for dinner. cooked his favorite, wore that red dress he liked, and I left a voice recorder running under the table. He slipped, bragged a little too much after wine, said things like, "She had it coming. All of you did. I had everything." The next day, I walked into the police station with the recording, the photos, the connection to Jessica's stalking. They took it seriously. Restraining orders were filed. Aaron disappeared. Jessica moved to Arizona to be near family. We don't talk often, but we send the occasional check-in text. Mark? I don't know where he is anymore. Last I heard, he was trying to start over in Idaho. I don't think about him much. Aaron? I still look over my shoulder sometimes, but mostly I breathe easier now. It had been 6 months since Aaron vanished. The cops never found him. The trail went cold. Jessica sold her story to a podcast, changed her number, and ghosted me after. Mark? Not even worth wondering about anymore. And me? I pretended to move on. On the outside, I was fine. Inside, I was still angry. Not just at them, but at me. For missing the signs. For letting it happen. For letting all of them walk over me like I was the soft one. So I started planning. I spent nights online, tracking down people, records, connections. Aaron's ex-wife? Found her. A wreck. Said he emptied her savings and vanished. Mark's mom? Still lives in Eugene, Oregon. Still posts everything on Facebook, even baby photos of Mark with passive-aggressive captions like, "Some people forget who raised them." Jessica? Rumors say she's now with someone new. Pregnant. Again. I kept a journal. Called it Final Moves. First move was small. I sent Jessica's new boyfriend a USB anonymously. Full of Aaron's and Mark's names, the affair timeline, everything. No threats. Just facts. A week later, she blocked me on everything. Someone at her office leaked that her boyfriend dumped her. Good. Next was Mark. I mailed his mother a letter. Handwritten. No return address. Inside? Copies of his paternity test results. A simple note. Ask your son if he remembers the lies he was made of. Her Facebook went dark the next day. Then private. Then gone. Aaron took the longest. But thanks to a friend of a friend in cybersecurity and a little cash, I tracked his IP to a small town in New Mexico. He'd changed his name. Was working as a real estate agent, smiling in listings with fake charm. So I made a fake identity. Sent him an email posing as a client. We exchanged messages for weeks. I played dumb. Sweet. Naive. Then I sent him one final email with everything. The photos. The recording. The restraining order. Attached? A link to a blog I'd written about everything he did. His face. His name. His games. All of it. Then I sent it to the company he worked for. To the local press. To his ex-wife. And to the FBI. I didn't sleep that night. Just stared at the screen. Watched as the post went viral in niche forums. He tried to scrub it. But it was too late. The day his company fired him, he sent me one last email. "You ruined my life." I replied with 2 words. Enjoy obscurity. The truth is, I didn't get out clean either. I lost friends. Burned bridges. Pushed away good people. Even therapy stopped working. Revenge doesn't heal you. But it does shut the doors behind you. And sometimes, that's enough. One day, I took that old onesie out of my drawer. Made with lies. I stared at it for a long time. Then I walked to my backyard, lit up the fire pit, and burned it. Watched the smoke curl into the sky. Not out of sadness. Out of finality. Because this story, it didn't end with forgiveness. It ended with fire. I moved across the country. Changed my number. Grew cold to the past. I don't want another love story. I want peace. And if anyone ever asks about my ex, I smile and say, he taught me how to fight dirty. He taught me what betrayal looks like. Then I lean in just a little and say, but I taught him what revenge feels like.